Sup, yo? Lifeseeker 128. Last time was a frustrating one, but I think I figured it out. So, we were looking for the nomad burial ground, or burial mounds, for the Free Research Academy in Rebuild the Capital. And I was missing one. And apparently I'm using an old version of the mod that the voice add-on is required to use. And it's right here. So I can't, like, pull up a map and make that work for me. Not in this version of the playthrough. So anyway, just to let you know, I found it before we get started on other things. Okay, we did the robotics. Helped Johnny Copper. We set ourselves on fire. Okay, Night She, probably? We found Ultrasight. We have not found a glowing one. And I had to cheat in a brain sample. Because I don't know what overlords work, what do not. Luciano's hammer, we have experimental engine parts, we have yet to decrypt all of the enclave files, of which I have an idea to fix that. So we repaired the water treatment plant. We have not investigated Percy. Let's go do that. Oh, I haven't got this either. But we can do that after. Maybe. Alright. No more wasting hours obsessing about a frickin' thing. Percy doesn't seem to be home at the moment. The perfect time to investigate his apartment and search for the original manuscripts Scribe Salt wanted you to find. I was thinking about Grumper the Gnome? I don't understand. I want this. I want that too. I'm confiscating it for the Brotherhood. Grumper's watch? Confused. I'm a little confused. Just doing some snooping. Cover the book reads. The Love Never Forgotten, Part 3 by Aidan Price. Although this book appears to be a burnt antique, upon closer examination it is obvious that it has been deliberately and artificially aged. Scribe Salt was right. Percy has a printing press, which means books aren't scavenged. Pre-war antiques. How Percy managed to get his hands on a functional printing press certainly raises a few questions. Looking for manuscripts of original text, which don't seem to be present at all. Typewriter has been used recently. The papers that are scattered around it are still wet with fresh ink. The top of one of the pages reads, The Lover Never Forgotten, Part 4 by Aidan Price. Uh-oh. He's psychic. No, I mean, Percy, Eden. He's using an anagram. Of his actual name. Percy Eden? What are you doing in my apartment? Oh shit, are you with the Brotherhood? I promise those antique books Scribe Salt purchased are on their way. They, just fell behind the couch. Aidan Price is an anagram of Percy Eden. I bet you think you're pretty clever, don't you? I'm guessing you figured out that I'm Aidan Price, and those books I've been selling aren't antiques. But before you judge me too harshly, just let me explain. I'm not a liar. I'm just a struggling writer. Fine, go ahead and explain. I've always wanted to be a writer. Ever since I was a kid, I would write and write on whatever I could get my hands on. Eventually, as I got older, I learned how to bound my loose pages into an actual book. Only problem is, no one wanted to buy my books. They just weren't interested in the stories I had to tell. You think 200 years after the collapse of the publishing industry, people would be ready to read something new. But no. You overestimate the literacy rate in the wasteland, dude. The only books people seemed interested in were the old ones, the kind of books with worn pages and loose spines. So you decided to sell your own books as if they were written before the war. Exactly. I don't feel good about it, but I am not sure I have any other choice. I don't have any other life skills besides writing. Plus, I've got a bad habit of racking up debts, and well, I was getting desperate. But when the rich folk at Tenpenny Tower started taking an interest in my antique books, well, things took a turn for the better. The money started rolling in, and the next thing you know, the Brotherhood began buying from me. I'll admit things may have gotten out of hand, but I'm finally starting to make it as a writer. I'll admit, this is a pretty impressive scheme you thought up. You can? Thanks, I guess? People aren't reading your books. They're just collecting them. Deep down, I know you are right. I'm not dumb. I know those tenpenny residents just wanted something to put on their bookshelf. And I'm sure my books will just sit in the Brotherhood archive, unopened for who knows how long. But I need the caps. Besides, one day someone might actually take one of my books off the shelf and read it. By the time that happens, those books will be antiques. Will actually be antiques. So there was never a real author named Aiden Price. No, like I said, it's just a pseudonym I've been using. Before I sell anyone my antique books, I always talk about how Aiden Price was this renowned pre-war author. And oddly enough, no one ever questioned me about it, not even Scribe Salt. Need to stop this nonsense and become a real writer. Means stop selling my books as if they are antiques. I would love to be a real writer and be known as Percy Eden and not Aiden Price, but I'm telling you, no one would want to buy my books. People want to buy the books of someone who lived centuries ago. People want books that remind them of a better time before the bombs. Comprehension. I have to read something other than an old book from before the war. You would? I didn't think people actually read books anymore. If you might read my book, then I guess other people might as well. Okay, I'll give it a shot. No more scams. You have my word. I don't have much, but I do have a few pre-war books. Here, I want you to have them. Oh, and they aren't forgeries, I promise. I guess it's time I got to work on the old typewriter. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was simple. What now? I guess we can go to the Citadel and do some snooping. It's okay. I want to be a writer too, but people don't. People don't read too much anymore, even today. Surprised to see you down here, Field Marshal. What brings you to these tunnels? Looking for an archival bunker that's supposed to be connected to these tunnels. According to the maps we found of these tunnels, there is supposed to be a small archive somewhere. Just watch your step. No one has really explored these tunnels. You're likely to find more than just paperwork down here. What are you doing? I'm on guard duty. Just making sure none of the crazed robots, feral ghouls, or other monsters that make their home here don't find their way inside the Citadel. It's not too bad. The turrets usually take down anything that gets too close. Although I sometimes hear the sound of the feral ghouls gurgle echo through the tunnels. Always chills my spine, if I'm being honest. Why hasn't the Brotherhood cleared out these tunnels yet? Just not worth the effort, especially when there are more pressing concerns above ground. No one really knows how many bunkers are buried underneath the Citadel or how long this tunnel network stretches. Most of the bunkers are probably inaccessible due to all the rubble anyhow. When we find an entrance to the Pentagon's tunnel network, we either seal it off or just place a couple guards to keep watch. I was told this will be good training for me, but it honestly feels more like guard duty. As you were. Alright. Which one was it? The one that... Yeah, Captain Armaxon. Let's be sneaking. And get that ghoulification beam. Well, not ghoulification beam. The Mezaghoul. So I can grab a ghoul. A glowing ghoul. If at all possible. And there's one right there. Alright. Oh my god, shut up. You. Come with me. There we go. You successfully scanned the ghoul's mind, and it is now following you. You should take it to Scribe Wormald. I'll do that now. I think. Chop that meat. That's fine. The sunset stays alive. That's Volpe. Yeah. Whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. Hey, he's hacking and whacking and smacking. What can you say? Other than that. Let him cook. Or don't. I don't really know. Hold on. Which one was it? Let me actually turn to the correct quest. Bring him a glowing one. It's over there. Okay, good. Shit did not go wrong. What are you doing outside your pen? That's not good. Enjoying your visit? I brought you a glowing one. Ah, perfect. I cannot wait to find out what secrets are uncovered thanks to your efforts. Here, I have been working on modifying the Mezaghoul to have increased damage against ghouls. Why don't you have it? I'm sure you could use it, and it's the least I could do to thank you. Now, if you excuse me, it's time I introduce myself to my new glowing friend. Yes, please, take him off my hands so I don't have to worry about him going on a rampage later. Okay. Fine, let's get out of here. I'm sure everything will be fine. Alright, let's go back to figuring this shit out. Get to Myra, I guess. I don't much care. Myra's cool. She chillin'. A little bit of a wreck, but she chillin'. What am I saying? She is entirely a wreck. She is literally a freaking washed up boat. Get down. What? Why? I am the boss. Why can't I pick a lock in my own facility? Or one of my own facilities? I am a god, you heathen. Do not presume to something, me, etc. So anyway, things are good. I did like a bit of a family thing. Helped a relative. I want that sentry bot dead by my hands. Man-machine interface style. Away from me. Behind you, baby. Right behind you, baby. Yeah, I'm still listening to that station from Sunday. I'll be doing that all week during my streams, if at all possible. If not entirely possible, then I'm probably going to revert to some other place online to have music playing live on YouTube, because if it's playing live on YouTube, that means it won't get copyright struck, right? Right? Y'all know that's not true, right? But there is a chance. Is a chance that this is how it can work for a time. Not indefinitely, but well, actually not forever, but indefinitely, for an indefinite period of time. It could be a good idea. A better idea than loading up Spotify and having that play while I stream. But you never know. And this is just for the stream, it's not for the VODs. Not on Twitch, not on YouTube. Only the stream. Only the live, never the VODs. Pentagon key, huh? We can look into that later. And I have a 30-second timer in front of my face, so how y'all doing? I'm having a good time. I had a nap on the way back. Or on the way there, or something. I had a nap. I had a nap while I was there. Actually, that's more accurate. I was just seeing a relative. Making sure he's okay. Making sure his place is staying clean. Oh, hello.
Can you Venmo me $6?
Yeah.
Your mom.
Chinese delivery. For my brother. $6 to the brother person. Chinese. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Me like. So anyway, I have Chinese food now. Huzzah. Something I don't normally get. Got anything else, Mr. Bones? Doesn't look like it. Oh, my baby, tight as I can. Mighty, mighty man. Well, we got turrets. Exceedingly old turrets that I can just shoot. Not give a shit about. Authenticity. Incident at the Mariposa military base. Okay, hold up. At approximately 1330 today, which is like 1 p.m., Command received a radio message from the Mariposa military base. The contents of this message are alarming and pose a serious risk to national security. The author of this message, Captain Roger Maxon, has declared his unit in full secession from the United States of America, no longer under the authority of Army Command. The captain cited the experiments being carried out by West Tech at the facility as his cause for mutiny. As far as can be determined, Captain Maxon has the support of his men. Captain Maxon's message explains the week-long silence from Mariposa. Colonel Spindle and the West Tech scientist are presumed dead, most likely murdered at the hands of Captain Maxon and his band of mutineers. The situation is quickly deteriorating, but care must be taken to ensure the news regarding the revolt does not spread to other military installations. It is of the utmost importance that the experiments carried at Mariposa are kept out of the public eye. A response is being formed, but until then, there is to be no contact with Mariposa nor any actions taken against Maxon and his men. In the meantime, security is to be heightened at all other FEV research facilities. Additional data and information regarding the incident can be found attached to this report. Signed, General L.V. West. October 22nd, 2077. Damn. Okay, well, I guess we can keep looking. So, mutiny. Well, that was cool. Alright. Medal. Well, he did receive a medal, officially, but he did mutiny pretty much right after his award. So, yeah. You what now? Attempt to repair. You successfully diverted power. Cool. I like that. Not swimming. I swear. I'm not drowning. I swear. Absolutely. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. Hack, whack, chop that meat. I am breathing underwater. Don't at me, bro. Don't at me. Oh, it's a quantum. Oh. Ba, 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 ba. Alright, good enough. Just so you know, I am a ghost. Nobody sees me. Nobody acknowledges me unless I want them to. Can I get past this to grab those? Please? I can, kind of, not really. It's an invisible wall situation that I am now kind of stuck in. Alright, there we are. Hey, Initiate. I got nothing. You're good. I'm just here to make somebody's day, I guess. Alright, what were we working on? Copper, we did. She, we have not. Would she be at Project Purity? I don't know. Let's go to Castle Lions and talk to personnel or something. I don't know, man. Just, there isn't a direct line to Project Purity, which makes almost no sense. That was not me, that was the live stream I am listening to music from. Too much is falling in line into each heart. Hi. Greetings, Field Marshal. Is there something you require of me? Do you remember Stefan Robles? I'm sorry, who? He was an initiate training with you. He said you really motivated him before he quit training. I'm sorry, but that name does not sound familiar. I was the team leader for my, team leader for my group of initiates, so it was my job to encourage my peers. I apologize, but I truly do not remember him. I've tried to keep in touch with the initiates I swore the oath with. Where is he now? He is an apprentice with the Order of the Quill. I see. Well, I certainly wish him the best. I'm sure he has a bright future ahead of him. Is there anything else you need me, Field Marshal? Anyway, no, I guess not. You can get back to your duties. Thank you, Field Marshal. Okay, well, that was awkward. Alright, hold on. We found the medal. We investigated Percy. We found all the burial mounds. We repaired the treatment plant. We didn't decrypt the Enclave thing yet. I will work on it. Experimental engine parts we have. Luciano's hammer. Dart gun, railway rifle. Cryolator. Brain sample. Don't ask how I got it. Ultrasound. Set on fire. John Copper. Military grade parts from a robot. Alright. Let's get after it. Okay, there we go. Now we do a whole crap load of turn-ins. You get a thing, you get a thing, you get a thing. You get a thing. Can I help you? I have the parts you need. Perfect, this is just what I need. While I continue to work on the autonomous suits of power armor, I want to present to you a prototype of my design. Feel free to take it as a gift. I'm sure this robot will be helpful during your adventures in the wasteland. What? Okay. The robot can follow me now. I'll program it to follow you as your royal bodyguard, or loyal bodyguard. Thank you again for your help, Field Marshal. Along with having a new follower, you can now recruit Brotherhood of Steel automatons from the recruitment terminal. Terracotta. Systems online. Yeah. I have a power armor looking robot, which is fascinating. Klein? Nothing? Okay. Good. Goodly good. Did I have anything to do here? Or no? They're probably going to dinner, aren't they? Or to bed. So let's just skip ahead to the part where we do more of these quests. Ah, son of a bitch. Oh, hey, Barclay. Field Marshal? Okay. Good, 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 good. I'm just gonna go willy-nilly, more or less.
Morning.
Okay, dude. Let's advance time a little bit so everybody is in their office. Vinny. Ultrasight. Elders be praised. I knew you would be successful. I will send a team to secure the rest of the Ultrasight post-haste to reward you in your efforts. I want to present to you the first suit of ultrasight power armor I was able to build using the ultrasight I had. With this deposit secured, more of the suits of ultrasight power armor can be forged, but it will take time. Good. Klein didn't have anything. Oh, Gallagher. Thank you for accepting the Shield's proposal for robotics research. I assure you my scribes will not disappoint you. If you're curious to know what projects we will be working on, feel free to speak to Journeyman Null. I am certain he will have much to share with you. Now, is there something you need? Not really. Pretty much discussed that part with Ewing, so. How you doing, Fraser? Anything I can do for your Field Marshal? Not really. Didn't you have someone else here? Confused. Or maybe they were here. Hey, Mullen. How you liking it? Never mind. We're fine. How you liking the power armor? In the morning. Iron on his hip. Havel! The Rock. Just the Brotherhood art. Hold on. Oh, great many things. I worked alongside Proctor Bowditch in rebuilding the Citadel and establishing it as the Brotherhood of Steel's headquarters. And now with the Brotherhood rebuilding the wasteland, there is more work than ever. From Grey Ditch to Canterbury Commons, dilapidated buildings are needing to be restored for the people of the wasteland. I must ensure these ruins don't collapse in on their new residents. I enjoy it greatly. Architecture is certainly a passion of mine, and the Academy allows me to focus entirely on studies. On your studies. Jesus Christ. Instead of working to rebuild these ruins, I would much rather tear them all down and put in their place new cities where we can finally move on from our past. As an architect, I would much rather be drafting blueprints for something new, but I understand the needs of the present. Alright, hold on, I missed a line. That being said, I can't say my architectural skills are being used to the fullest. Right. Enjoy working here? It is a quiet place to work, which is a hard thing to come by in the Citadel. That is not to say I don't miss the sound of power armor stomping down the hall. Alright, John Copper is there. Perfect. I've heard good things about Copper's work. Hopefully he delivers promising tools, especially after all the effort it took. Here, have this as thanks. It's one of Copper's shovels. You have received the scavenging spade. You can use this shovel to dig in rubble piles. Simply hit the spade against some piles of rubble, and who knows what junk might be found. That's fascinating.
What's up?
Oh my god, so many options. Also, Subject B is out of his cage. Why? And Warmold. Already did your thing. Oh right, the germ, the frickin' the bacteria daily. Hold up. I need the documentation. Oh, come on. Don't fail me now. Putting on the reds. High heat unless it is a dark red, then keep temperate. Okay. Okay, it is a dark red, so temperate. Let's see. Multiple flagella. If bacilli shaped and golden yellow, use macrolide, just gold yellow, or just bacilli. It's neither of those. Cephalosporin. It's dark red, formaldehyde, unless koshi. It is koshi. Then use chlorine, but only if using penicillin. I'm not using penicillin. Otherwise, use alcohol. I'll use alcohol then. Successful. Cool. Very nice. Hi, Barkley. What's up? Thank you. Here's more stem away. Is this just like a repeatable?
What's up?
With not much else other than the stem away. Robles. Night she. What did she say? I don't know how to say this, but she doesn't remember you. She doesn't remember me like at all. But we spent so much time together, and she was always encouraging me and telling me I would be a great knight. Spent so much time thinking I had disappointed her by failing out of the initiate program, but she doesn't even know I exist. Knight She was the only thing keeping me motivated in life. What am I going to do now? You can value the advice she gave you as an initiate, but also focus on your future as a scribe. You're right. Best thing for me to do is to move on. I am a scribe now, and so I should focus on being the best scribe I can be. Here, I want you to have this. It's my old pistol I used as an initiate. Thank you again, Field Marshal, for all of your help. I've got a lot of things to do, but for the first time in a long time, I am hopeful about the future. Okay. Cool. That's fun. We did Havel. Did we do Nyon? Anything I can add on that? How's your research? Very well. I assure you that I take anything I research very seriously, even something as mundane and simple as combat armor. Those who believed assigning me to combat armor would dim my genius are sure to be disappointed. Did you always research combat armor? No, I was a leader in power armor research. Perhaps you have heard of my invention, the X12 joint pistons for the T45D power armor. If you find yourself able to bend your arms with a 10% increase in efficiency, then you have me to thank for that. Okay. Are you enjoying your post? Let's just say I should be doing much more here than studying combat armor. But there are those who wish to see me fail so that they might succeed. Nevertheless, I will continue to innovate and break barriers in research as I always have. Says you don't work well with others. Of course, you would say that. Jealousy plagues that woman like a disease. She knows I should be the one with the title of senior scribe, but she snatches it from me, tore me away from my power armor research. Matters not. I excel no matter what I research. But anyhow, yes, I prefer to work alone. Other scribes tend to slow down my work and steal credit when it's completed. Surely someone knows as the Lone Wanderer can understand. Surely someone known as the Lone Wanderer can understand my preference for solitude. Yeah, I kind of get it. Alright, I set myself on fire. Now that wasn't so bad, was it? I'll take the fire-resistant suit off your hands and extract the data its device recorded during the test. Now, I always pay those who help, so here are some stim packs, as well as a prototype of the fire-resistant combat armor I'm working on. Should come in handy should you ever set yourself on fire again. Okay, then.
Morning.
Alright, so Barclay is handled. Klein, you don't have anything. Robles is done. Warmald is done. Havel done. And Yo done. Alright, what are we up to? Anything? Should probably go to administration and check on them too. Yeah, this is just quarters. Let's go to admin. Bathroom. More quarters. Okay, we need to go down a floor. Even more quarters. A closet.
Hey.
Hey. Generic scribes, places and things, and what's this up to? Hi, Hermes? Okay. I don't think you had anything. Or maybe you did, and I did it, and it's fun, and it's done. And, what about you, Stiegel? Yes, is there something you wish to speak to me about? I heard about your expedition to the American Art Gallery. Is that so? I'm sure you have an opinion about the expedition. Everyone seems to. So, what do you think? Was the expedition to the Art Gallery a waste? Let's hear it. I value the preservation of the humanities, but not at the cost of lives. Understand your apprehension. I truly do, and I do not take that loss of life lightly. But if the Brotherhood is willing to risk lives for a rare laser weapon, why not also take risks to save a priceless work of art? There is more to humanity than the weapons it has created. If the Brotherhood is to rebuild humanity, it cannot only collect what caused it to collapse in the first place. What do? I carry out simple administration duties here at the Academy. That means making sure the lights stay on and the Orders have access to the resources they need. I give the Orders plenty of autonomy to study whatever they wish, just as long as their experiments don't destroy the entire campus. But I try not to step on any toes. The last thing I would want to do is stand between a scribe and their research. What is researched here? Oh, just about anything, really. If you want to know more, I guess I suggest speaking to those in charge of their respective orders. Senior Scribe Combs has the Order of the Quill here. They've housed themselves in what used to be the old library. Hold up. Food. Good food. Junior Scribe O'Gallagher oversees the Order of the Shield. You can find them working in the power armor down the hall. And of course, there is the prideful workhorse named Senior Scribe Vree. She heads the Order of the Sword and the building over. Combs is a right agreeable fellow and an older mentor of mine. An old mentor of mine. But watch, you don't find yourself in the crossfire between Vree and O'Gallagher. Competition between the shield and sword is alive and well here. What did you do? For my posting here, I worked as a scribe in the Order of the Quill. My duties pertain to the recovery and preservation of art, whether they be paintings, statues, or any other expression of artistic merit. Many of the pieces I secured can be found decorating the walls of my office or the library of the Order of the Quill. Miss searching the ruins of DC for art, even if, sadly, my expeditions to art galleries were not always appreciated by some of the Brotherhood. Weren't there many soldiers stationed here? That is because this is not a military installation. This place was founded to give scribes a place to study and innovate far from the meatheads at the Citadel and Castle Lions. Ever since Project Purity, the Brotherhood has been building military bases left and right. It is only fair scribes receive a plot of land to call our own. We're receiving commands from the Citadel. I received the odd communication here and there, but so far, we are allowed to focus on our research. Senior scribes still answer to their respective proctors, and I still take calls from head scribe Rothschild. But unless something urgent comes up, we are being allowed to research whatever we please. Such autonomy is needed for science to truly thrive. Goodbye. Uh-huh. Cool. Good talk. CD. Think I got a do for you? No. Blah, 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 blah. Like Captain Vree. Heard my sisters are now cooperating on energy weapons. I guess I have you to thank. I'm not expecting my family to start exchanging birthday cards, but I guess it is a step in the right direction. Yeah.
Morning.
Cool. I think that's it for the shield. I could be wrong, and then I'd just go to the building again. Simple. Okay. So what do we got?
Hey,
Massey. Hello, Field Marshal. Brought you back a brain sample from Super Mutant Overlord. So, David returns with the head of Goliath. Well, at least part of the head. This rather large specimen barely fits into the jar. Anyhow, here's your reward for your efforts. Ponder. Questions? No questions, really. Mutant? Super Mutant Surgeon. Surgeon. Hey, Pip. Hello there. Nah, you're good. Sandman, bring me a dream. Hold on. Super Mutant Surgeon. Oh. Okay. I see. Horsley. Nothing. Where's the junk man? Hey, Schmidt. Not much. Where's the junk weapons man? Man? No. Hi. One more time. Cry later. Railway. Now this thing looks like it could do some serious damage despite its rudimentary making. I've already drafted a few designs based on this weapon's design. I've designed a prototype that gives the railway rifle a little upgrade. Dart gun. An innocent-looking weapon, but I'm sure it is deadly in the right hands. I've already drafted a few designs based on this weapon's design. I've designed a prototype that upgrades the dart gun into a crossbow. For that all? Those were all I needed. Thank you, Field Marshal. I appreciate your help. Here, I want you to have one last weapon I designed. I based it off something called a rocket launcher. Okie dokie then. We can go up, probably. Because why not? Most of the labs are up here, I would think.
Hey.
Fuller? Is it? Tell me about your assistant, Greenlee. Who? I asked you about the Apprentice Greenlee. I'm not an encyclopedia on those who work here. If you want to know about Greenlee, perhaps you should go speak to her. Great. Hey, Greenlee. Do you think Shred Fuller will change now that he is receiving medical care? It's hard to tell. I sure hope so, but it may be a while before I notice any real changes. It remains to be seen whether these changes will be for the best, even. Still, I will continue to assist him in any way I can, even if he doesn't thank me for it. Not a problem. No. Hey, how you holding up? How are things since I did that? Okay, how are you doing? Okay. Hey, Long. No, we're fine. Hey, Jeffers. I got things. I'm back from the training exercise. What did you think? I heard things got a bit hairy down near the White House, but I'm assuming my knights pulled through. I was rather impressed. You mean it? That's great. Press you. I appreciate your feedback, Field Marshal. I'll start bringing these knights out of training and into the battlefield to do some good. Now recruit Lancer Knights from the squad terminal. Not bad. Hey, Simmons. I recovered the parts. That's good news. I will have a retrieval team sent to the crash site at once to retrieve the remainder of the vertibird wreckage. With this technology, Brotherhood of Steel vertibirds can quickly provide support to our soldiers in the field. You can use this flare gun to call in a vertibird airstrike once a day. The vertibird will strike wherever the flare lands. Be careful you aren't caught in the fire zone. Thank you again, Field Marshal. Cool. What's up? You had one more thing. How is it working with this? Don't be fooled by his serious, typical scribe attitude, always going on about research. He has a passion for flying just as much as I do. Boy, should have seen the wonder in his eyes the first time I took him flying in a vertibird. You should have also seen the look on his face when we hit some turbulence. Okay, having fun, are we? Did I check you out? Needed something? Hammer. Thank you, Field Marshal. I owe you a debt of gratitude for the service you have done for me and my late husband. But I do not believe my husband would want his hammer to sit idly on a shelf. Please, keep my husband's hammer and honor his legacy by slaying all those that would dare harm the innocent and defenseless. May his hammer serve you as much as it served my husband. It's going in storage. I don't hammer ever. Long is there. Jeffers is there. I think we're good. We need the wings. Although I think the wings are only quarters. I don't know. Anyway, you guys do that. Then I will do something like this. And I want books. My books. My books now. Yes, I am a thief. Do not judge me, Sir Robot. Upper floor, we've done. Alright. Quill. Guess we'll do Quill now.
Hey.
Con. Right, the encryption doodly-doo. Other one. Okay. So. Let's go with 3. As far as I know, this is just a... no idea. Oh yeah, I'm gonna finish a Reddit post here. Also good foods. Okay. Ah, I see. Analyze. An ASCII shift cipher. For ASCII 85 encoding. Try that. Okay, well that didn't really work. What about an ASCII shift? No. No. Zodiac killer cipher. All right, hold on. I don't know. Fiend cipher. President. Seems like the thing. Oh yeah. Cool. One more. Okay, and it's not... Okay, well... Dang it. Okay, we're looking for this one. Over here. No. I don't know. Would be ASCII 85 encoding. Original. Adobe. No. ASCII shift. I mean, the post just has the answer there, but I want to find it. I want to verify their results. Base 92 encoding. No. Yeah, and it supposedly the Zodiac Killer cipher is what is suggested. But I guess it just shows up here. It's just USA. All files decrypted. Enjoying your visit? I decrypted them. It's great news with the encryption out of the way. We can start looking through the files and maybe discover something noteworthy. With those files decoded, I can also have more free time to work on my auto-hack keys. Auto-hack keys? It's what I call my coded holodisks that can unlock almost any terminal they're inserted into. Sell the holodisks to field scribes, but this job hasn't afforded me the time to make more. That is, until now, thanks to your help. If you ever want to buy any auto-hack keys from me, just ask. But here, take some for free. It's the least I can do. They can hack most terminals except those that have some heavy-duty password protection. Salt? Does your library contain Brotherhood's entire collection? Sadly, no, not yet, at least. I'm talking to him about garbage before the matter at hand. Good portion of texts are still held at the Citadel archives, although I am working to centralize the collection here. Books are precious and fragile items, so I don't feel comfortable transporting them here any other way but by vertebrate. However, it isn't always an easy thing to wrangle a vertebrate these days. Most are transporting troops and supplies to and from the battlefield. I won't have these books ride alongside explosives or, God forbid, seating next to soldiers. Long time this collection will be complete, easily accessible from this well-catalogued library. So much remote. I mean, besides the fact that I am a librarian, well, for one, I am rather a voracious reader. Yet, despite my large appetite for books, I was always famished. It is not easy to find an intact book. So I'd read what I could. A couple legible sentences from a burned books, or maybe a couple pages I could tape back together. The primary reason why I joined the Brotherhood of Steel was because I heard they had the largest collection of literature in the wasteland. Are you collecting issues of the Victory Post? Oh, yes, even though most published in domestic newspaper is sensationalist garbage, in my opinion. Because you can loosely categorize the newspaper as literature, I archive them in the library. The Academy receives a fresh bundle of papers every week, so I usually take one for the archive. Do you allow scribes from other orders to access the library? The library is open to everyone in the Brotherhood of Steel. That being said, I only trust members of Quill to access the oldest manuscripts. And absolutely no one is allowed to take a book outside the building. They are lucky if they are permitted to read it out of my sight. That policy has of course caused issues in the past. The Order of the Shield follows it, but the Scribes of the Sword always protest. But I won't have one of their laser experiments accidentally disintegrate all 300 pages of a centuries-old book. Do you work with other scribes here at the Academy? Scribe Piers and her assistant apprentice Medina help with the transcription and preservation of older texts that are severely damaged. They are both extremely skilled in what they do. I have seen them take books that looked burnt to crisp or shredded by a deathclaw only to make them appear fresh off the printers. Damn. I looked into Percy. I knew that bastard was scamming me. Well, what sort of justice did you serve for his deception? Here are the books he sold you. Maybe it's time we expand the archive to include modern works. Usually I would retch at the thought of including the writings of some common wastelander in the Brotherhood's archives, although I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the writings of Aidan Price, or should I say, Percy Eden. What can I say? I'm a sap for a good romance novel. Alright, Field Marshal, I will continue to do business with Percy, but only if he ties up all those loose ends in next part of The Lover Never Forgotten. Love it. Mullum. Mental pleural glands are popping. My man. They popping. Joiner. Received word that my... Oh, God, here we are. My proposals to reform the Order of Footmen were accepted. You have my thanks, Field Marshal. I assure you are setting the foundations of a new and improved military force for the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, what can I do for you? Okay, Hurley? Questions? No questions. Bowling. How do you make their posters? I base most of my posters off how pre-war... Off of what? Off of pre-war designs. I simply update them for the times. I'm not designing posters, I'm speaking with yeomen over the radio. They help give me an idea of what the average wastelander thinks of the Brotherhood and what their concerns are. I guess you can think of it like opinion polling. Anyway, final drafts of the posters are then sent to the Citadel where they are printed for distribution. Luckily, the offices of the Civil Defense Administration were somewhat intact, so we can use the printers they had at the Pentagon. That's true. Do you think your propaganda works? That's a good question, Field Marshal. Obviously, it is mainly the Brotherhood patrols and Project Purity that is winning the trust of the local population. Still, these posters serve as a subtle, everyday reminder to the people. The posters are something they can keep in the back of their mind as they go about their day. Yeah, and I already did her thing. Mind control is bad, okay? Do you need something? No, I do not. I find the history of the last 200 years much more interesting and worthwhile. If you want to talk about anything before the nuclear apocalypse, you can speak with my assistant, Apprentice Hopper. Although I think the young man has read one too many books on the United States. Can you tell me about the history of the Brotherhood of Steel? You mean right now? I'm sorry, but I don't have time to list the dates of every expedition sent out of the Lost Hills bunker or the name of every elder who ever lived. If you are looking for a history lesson, I'm sure you can find someone at the Citadel who will gladly tell you of Tale of the Brotherhood's founding. Not that they can give you any specifics, mind you. They don't have time for true history, which thrives in the details they might find boring. They can tell you all about the honor or virtue of Elder Maxon, but can they tell you his date of birth, or even who succeeded him as elder? Well, maybe, but only because that would be Elder Maxon II. But who was the third elder? Could they tell you that? No, I don't think so. And in case you are wondering, that would be Elder Maxon III. What can you tell me about your apprentice? Young Hopper certainly has a mind for history, although I'm afraid he has overdosed on all the Americanism on display in the Capitol. He is always talking about the restoration of the United States. With talk like that, you would think he tuned into President Eden's radio chats. Despite the occupation of landmarks, like the Pentagon, or various presidential memorials, you will find very few admirers of America in the chapter. It should be no surprise given the Brotherhood was founded in the wake of a mutiny against the American government. And the recent war against the Enclave certainly hasn't helped rehabilitate the Star-Spangled Banner. Okay, regardless, Apprentice Hopper is stricken with patriotism for a country he has never known, a country that has spent 2 centuries in the grave. As long as he turns his assignments in on time, I couldn't care less what he studies in his free time. But he should be careful, or a veteran visiting from the Citadel might mistake him for an Enclave sympathizer. I've always been a historian, yes, but I only studied Brotherhood history. Before arriving at the Academy, I worked in the Citadel archives. I enjoy the history of the Brotherhood, but so many of our stories are shrouded in legend that it is hard to discern truth from myth. The farther back you go in the archives, the more mythical the stories become. The sources read less like histories and more like fables. Okay, I got your nomad artifact. Yes, have you found some artifacts? One of the nomad burial sites contained a mutilated skeleton. Bottles of Radex were buried too. It isn't shocking to find a skeleton in a burial site, but there is something about how these remains were mutilated that is interesting. Based on the wounds around the neck bones, I would guess the head was separated from body by a knife. Although, what is most disturbing is how the jaw is wired shut. And you said bottles of Radex were also buried? It is fair to guess the skeleton belonged to a ghoul. The ghoul may have been decapitated, but there are no wounds suggesting a struggle. So you think the ghoul may have voluntarily submitted to being killed. Very interesting thought. Very interesting indeed. Then I guess that rules out the likelihood the ghoul had gone feral. Guessing the nomads weren't welcoming to ghouls. So it would seem. What's more, it seemed they did not simply bury the body, but performed some sort of special ritual. Also, well, almost as if they were worried the corpse might reanimate. Even 200 years later, we do not fully understand the process of ghoulification, so we cannot blame them for their superstition. It will send these remains to Scribe Wormold. With his expertise on ghouls, perhaps he can tell me more. More. Nomad scroll. Scroll? Let's unravel it. It is in rather poor shape. The ink has faded, and holes puncture various sections of the scroll. None of the writing is very legible, and it is an odd mix of letters from Latin alphabet and characters from a language I don't recognize. Regardless, the brushstrokes that filled this scroll were obviously purposeful and deliberate. Those are Chinese characters next to the Latin letters. Chinese. Well, that raises even more questions about the nomads. Were there really descendants of survivors from Chinese internment camps living within their community? Were there really maybe. I would not have expected ethnic tensions to cool, not even a generation after China and America destroyed one another. Then again, it is easy for concepts like nationalism to be forgotten when nations are gone and you are faced with the harsh apocalyptic reality. Maybe the Nomads had a new writing system. To be designing a new system of writing and language so soon after bombs fell would be very remarkable, if not bordering on implausible. Would the Nomads really sever their connection to the pre-war world so quickly? Especially when there may have been a few among them that could still remember life before the nuclear holocaust. Then again, they were a very inward-focused community. Perhaps they had a reason to keep their texts readable only to themselves. I will ask Stride Piers to assist me transcribing this scroll. Maybe something can be deciphered from these writings. Thank you, Field Marshal. This parchment will certainly keep me busy for some time. Would you be interested in this engraved Brahmin skull I found at the Nomad burial site? Very much so. Please, let me have a look at it. Brahmin skulls are often displayed with prominence at various Nomad sites. Still, I don't believe I have seen a skull decorated in this manner yet. It is very ornate. Brahmin's inner horns are worn from the heads rubbing against each other. No signs of that here. Are you implying this Brahmin had only one head? I can see now why they would take the time to decorate the skull of such a unique animal. For a Brahmin to have been born unmutated would have been rather valuable. I wonder if this specimen was healthier and lived longer than the others in the Nomad's herd. It is interesting to think that nowadays a one-headed Brahmin would be the mutant. Anyway, thank you again for your help, Field Marshal. Found this spear. Spear. Very interesting. Let's have a look. This spear is very simple in design. I guess not every artifact is a piece of valuable art. Although I would argue artifacts of everyday life can tell us much more than rare relics. Melee weapons 50. This doesn't appear to be a throwing sphere. It looks like it was used for close combat. Close combat, you say? Maybe this spear served some sort of ritualistic purpose. An initiation rite, perhaps. It is not uncommon for cultures to have younger members slay some animal in order to prove their worth. Thank you for your insight, Field Marshal. Maybe this artifact isn't as bland as I first thought. Artifact? Found this totem. Totem. Interesting. Let us have a look. There appears to be a column of 3 figures carved into this totem. Although faded in color, the green paint implies the figure at the bottom to be a super mutant. As for the middle figure, the sharp claws and pointed horns make it obvious that it is a carving of a death claw. But as for the figure at the top, I'm not so sure. It appears to be some sort of winged beast, most likely another mutant monster. Looks to me like the creatures on the totem are being ranked. An interesting observation, Field Marshal. I suppose I could understand how Deathclaw could be more dangerous than a super mutant, although that is not a fight I would want to be around for. That raises questions regarding this winged beast at the top of the totem. If it was so dangerous, then I suppose we are lucky we don't know what it is. I think it's a Cazodor. Yeah. Do you think the totem had some sort of spiritual significance? That is a likely possibility. In the early years after bombs fell, the population of the wastelands, many FEV abominations, were still small. Super mutants and Deathclaws had not yet reached the overwhelming numbers we see today. To them, those monsters existed in the realm of mythos. The nomads most likely saw them as rare, yet dangerous cryptids. But centuries later, we know those monsters are very real and abundant. Anyhow, whether this totem was meant to appease them or rather to serve as ward, only further study of it will tell. I appreciate you bringing this to me. Please let me know should you find any more artifacts. Were that all? You have provided me with more than enough artifacts to study. Thank you, Field Marshal. Previously, I had a suit of armor and accompanying spear made based on the specifications from a source I had about the nomads. They might only be replicas, but I assure you they still function like the real thing. I'm sure you can find some use for them. Consider them a gift for your help in my research. Whose research? Those artifacts you brought me certainly helped with my research. Some of the artifacts have pointed to other artifact sites. Every day I'm discovering something new about their way of life. For example, I recently unearthed a relic which seemed to suggest that some nomads rode giant mole rats. Can you believe that? Simply fascinating. Alright. That was fun. Hey, Hopper. Need something? How do you like working with him? He's a very dedicated scribe and great teacher, but he can be a difficult historian to work under. His interest is in the years that followed the Great War, but that era is practically a black hole of information. Historical sources are hard to find from that time. If any are found, they are dissected over and over again until every detail is squeezed out. I know it is groundbreaking research, but I prefer history that has more surviving sources. What historical subjects are you most interested in? In my free time, I am most interested in American history. Maybe it's just because I grew up in D.C. around all the monuments, but the whole mythos surrounding the country fascinates me. It's just a shame I have the same fondness for American history as the Brotherhood's #1 enemy, the Enclave. I certainly have had a few misunderstandings with Knights regarding the nature of my studies. Alright, I found the medal. Really? That's amazing. Please, let me look at it. Wait a second. This doesn't say Roger Maxon. This medal is addressed to Captain Rupert Maxon. Who the hell is Rupert? Damn it. How could I be so stupid? When I saw the name R. Maxon on list of medal recipients, I just assumed it was Roger. How common of a last name is Maxon? This throws my entire research proposal into shambles. Sorry it wasn't what you were looking for, but I'd still appreciate some caps. No. Maybe this will teach you not to go on a wild goose chase. No. I also found some data on Maxon's mutiny at Mariposa. Wow, really? Using that data in my research would actually garner me some attention at the Citadel. But, on the other hand, I guess it's true the Brotherhood's origins the Brotherhood has its origins in a rebellion against the United States. I guess founder Maxon wasn't the loyal American I thought he was. I feel like I'm going to have to reframe my entire research proposal. I was hoping my research would shed a positive light on the United States. Where am I supposed to go from here? How am I to manage my love of this country with my loyalty to Maxon's ideals and his Brotherhood? Maxon stood for his ideas, regardless of who he was standing up against. That's pretty American. Yeah, maybe you are right. You have given me a lot to think about, and you've given me a lot of work to do. I should start going through this data on Mariposa. Thank you again for everything, Field Marshal. Maybe there still is hope for America. Maybe. And traditionalists hate me, once again. It don't matter. They won't attack me. It's cool.
Good to see you.
It's just a random ass score. Hey Pierce, need something? No. Maybe you? No. Combs. Field Marshal? Nothing. What the fuck is this office for? Joiner, we did. Do water treatment, right? Okay, so we need to go to the quill. Well, we need to go to a different part of the Order of the Quill. Hi. Need something? Water treatment plant in Mungary. That is good news to hear, Field Marshal. I appreciate your efforts. But I'm assuming that means Journeyman Kavanaugh is... I will ensure his sacrifice was not in vain. I will send a team to secure the water treatment plant and bring it completely online. Hopefully with more fresh water, that will mean a better economy for the wasteland and more taxes for the Brotherhood. Let's not rename it. Okay. I think that might be it. Blackwall? Nothing. Nothing much anyway. So I think that might be it for the VRA. I want to look at the time. We're in an hour 48. I think this might be a good time for a break so I can finish my dinner and get a drink or something. So anyway, here goes my spiel. I am Lifeseeker 128. And that's on YouTube and Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, go see my YouTube. I've got all the VODs for this playthrough and many others there. If you're watching on YouTube, come check me out live on Twitch. I'm probably streaming right now, if everything goes according to plan, which means not a whole lot IRL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow my channels. And if you dislike something about one of my VODs, please don't hesitate to comment about what specifically you disliked. And I'll look into fixing it if I can. That's about it. Oh, I've been keeping to a bit of a schedule, mostly nights and sometimes afternoons, but that's mostly for times when I have a class going on. But I won't have a class going on this week. Yay! I'm free! Also, I'm thinking about doing a little modding project to revise, rebuild the capital, but it dawns on me that I don't have the most up-to-date version of that mod. So I'm probably going to postpone that revision thing in mind until I have the full, most up-to-date version of Rebuild the Capital on my game, which I will not change until after this current playthrough is over. Keep that in mind, if you will. So anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for all your views, all of your watch hours and every like you leave on my videos on YouTube. They help me a lot. And also thank you for all the follows on my Twitch channel. Just stop on by every now and then to see how I'm holding up. Please, I can use the extra confidence boost. At any rate, there is more to come today, so stay tuned.